Friday, everyone. Welcome back. Hopefully everybody's excited about the weekend. Not only that, I'm pretty excited about what happened with Amazon last night. Look at Amazon. Let's go hop over there and check out what happened. Oh, what's going on pre-market? That doesn't look good. But let's look what happened yesterday. Great earnings. I only have 3 swing trades, and they all pretty much worked out for me. I mean, I had the Maras doing pretty well. You could see that thing start making a big comeback. EDU had a great run up. Look at that thing. And by the way, if you go back in EDU, it was up in the $200 price range, but filling a gap fill. But that Amazon, the whole idea about trading, though, just kind of lets you know that even with swing trading, you got to want to take a profit. You got to know when you got to walk away and says, you know what, made money, that's it. And just remember one thing, good traders never buy at the bottom, and we never sell out top. And if you did, it's luck, okay? And you have to admit when you're lucky. But I did get lucky on Amazon. Didn't know that was going to be that big of a run up. But we got resistance levels right around here, which you saw it right around 38 back in February, and that's what it basically peaked out on right there. So it's starting to back off. So, it could probably come all the way down right around here, around 33 or something like that. So, some profits, people want to take profits over the week, overnight. And that's basically what you're seeing right now because people did do really, really well. I mean, the stock really ran from a price of around $100 to about 140. But that's the past. Let's worry about the future, right? The future is this. What's going on today? And we had a couple of really nice stocks that are moving in pre-market right now. And the ones that were from yesterday are actually kicking in today. And I want to start off with TBLT. Now, TBLT, you could see it's up really nicely right here. It was one of the good pre-markets of yesterday. Ran from $4 all the way to $6.50. She's up again today. We traded a couple of days ago. The stock was at $2, ran almost as high as 10. I'm hopping over here on level 4. You could see right here that we got a couple of big iceberg orders that are kind of supporting it right around $7. We're right around there. The guy canceled his order and he upticked there, which is actually a really good sign. So that one's doing pretty well. But we'll talk a little bit about that in a little bit. Want to also talk about some other stocks that we traded yesterday. For some of you that were not here, and if you're watching YouTube for the first time, or maybe you missed this couple of days, SkyX was actually a really nice mover yesterday. $4 stock up to $7. Look how cheap these stocks are. Okay, so listen, why you have to go out there and risk $140, $150 stock? Listen, these things move up just as big. That one was good. Plug was awesome yesterday. And we talked about this yesterday regarding about, we'll talk about that, Norm, about the BHC too. That one also was a pretty interesting one, BHC. So we all know about Build Back Better. It looks like it's going to pass. They did a smaller version of it. So a lot of those stocks that had anything to do with what Congress is looking to pass and what the president is looking to pass about Build Back Better, a lot of it trickled in. And some of you, like I said, if you're for it, you hate it, whatever your political beliefs are, if you get political in trading, you're going to blow up your account, okay? So here you have a stock. So anyway, for us, those opportunities make opportunities in the market, and Plug and a few of them. What was the other one that did it? Blink was the other one that moved pretty nicely. A couple of those stocks, obviously, did pretty well. Sega also, another one, great moving stock yesterday. $17 stock. This thing just did not know how to back off, didn't have that many shakes. $18 all the way up to the close, went to $22. Another good mover. And you could see here on the long-term chart that this stock had a really good also day trade and then converted to a swing trade. Now it's a gap fill. That's where it is. But it's trending down now. Sometimes you got to look at what happened yesterday to find support levels for today, because when you look at it right here, you're like, oh, is there really support levels around 22? Well, when you go back, you could see it from yesterday. But anyway, that's the past. Let's focus on the future. And the future is what's moving on today. So I was going through the watch list. There was a couple interesting stocks. AYLA was really interesting to me. This stock had a really, really good move right around 8 a.m. And it had a really nice pop. It wasn't on the morning watch list because by the time we got that watch list, it kicked in right around, we usually put that list right around 7:45, 7:50, something like that. So this was what part of the program trading time, 8 a.m. It's had a really nice push right there. I mean, beautiful, $1.38 to right around 225. Now, for some of you, you're like, okay, well, is it going to continue? Whatever. Well, listen, you could see there's resistance levels here on the long-term chart. And when I see where the orders are, I can see all these orders are starting to pile up right around 230 and 222. So that's really going to kind of hold it. Unless somebody's going to take those sellers out, it's not really going anywhere. So we're going to keep, but that's going to be on the B list. Okay, so we got AYLA, and then we have the TBLT. All right, and those are the two biggest percentage gainers on the New York. Another stock that's moving pretty nicely also this morning, it's up about 22%. This stock right here had a nice little push, and it came back down a little bit. Good after hours trading, I guess must be earnings. But it's cheap. It's got good spread. I just don't like the trend right now. I don't like how it's moving. You know, it's kind of like trending down. So I would also put this on the B list. It is up 23%. It did trade 8.7 million shares so far. Market's not even open. But I'm not completely sold on that one either. So I'm a little bit skeptical. Oh, I forgot to mention what Norman brought up before about the trade BHC. So BHC, for some of you saw the stock yesterday, we actually traded the stock in our phase 3, and it was really cool because it was started all the way here at $8, and the stock got destroyed, dropped down to 4. And what was nice about it, if you are a student of Cyber Trade University, you have to watch. You know, all our classes are recorded. Watch the trade I did with the stock BHC, where I talk about the Fausto flag, and we watched how it consolidated, and then bam, the stock just dropped from 475 all the way down to $4. We did really well on that short, and I think we made about 50 cents on that. 50 cents on 1,000 shares, $500, $100,000 a year salary. And what was cool about it, it got halted too. So, but then you could see it took a while for it to open up. It didn't open up until late in the afternoon because it was getting halted constantly yesterday. And you could see these little gap fills. It kept getting halted. And then it must have came out with some good news because by the time it opened up was sometime like late in the after, once the market closed. And you could see a stock really kind of took off. So this is why it's important. You got to know how to take profits, and you got to know when to move on, and you can't hold on because that winner could have been a big loser. But she obviously was a very interesting learning stock. Yes, granted, it was a great class, and I really recommend it. Phase 3, lesson 3, if you get a chance to watch it. All right, what else is moving on our watch list? So you got all these big stocks, big brand names that are moving. They were swing trades. They're not day trades. It was a pretty good day trade in the after hours, Amazon, for some of you here, but we did really good on that swing trade. Now, on the losers, ROKU is getting crushed. ROKU. This is one of those big high flyers that did really well with COVID. The stock went from 100 all the way to about almost $500 a share. And you could see, just like Netflix, this stock right here, this one was like, Netflix was at the 700, dropped down all the way down to like 179. So a lot of these streaming subscriptions are not really doing too well. So, but ROKU taking a huge hit. So, and you could see it when you see something like that. We know what that means. That was an earnings announcement. So they didn't do too well on that. But can we get a dead cat bounce on it? Listen, it's a $65 stock. We really want to trade expensive stocks. It's going to be very risky. It's going to give you a lot of headache. Hopping over here at Intel. Listen, I was never a fan of Intel for a long time. I mean, Apple basically crushed Intel. But, Intel, when I originally traded, was like the gold standard of stocks to be in. It was like one of the blue chip stocks out there. They didn't do too well yesterday on their earnings announcement. So you could see a stock, another one, took a hit from $40 down to $35. It does got some support levels, though, at 35. So I would put it on the B list. It's not terribly hard to trade. I'd probably give it a category 3, but that's about it. New York Stock Exchange, this is interesting. It's $5 stock rate, a $10 stock. It's almost at $35. It's a new IPO. Is this Getty Images? Okay, the one that sells all those pictures? I didn't even know they went public. Getty, I'll be really careful. This stock, to me, looks like a extremely volatile stocks. We traded stocks like this before. 1.5 million shares already traded. You could see the spread is very, very thin. That means it's got a very tight, very wide spread, low volume stock. So unless you're a category 5, then you could trade it. AMTD, I don't know. This stock is not really going anywhere. Yang, these are all ETFs, not really going anywhere. So New York Stock Exchange basically looks all crapped out. AVYA, my God, this thing is getting hammered. Isn't that the life insurance company or something like that? I know they had those funny commercials, but Jesus, this thing is just like no end in sight. It's down to $1. When they break 5, that's not good. When they get below that 5, usually that means that mutual funds, hedge funds can't trade that stock. So the stock is not looking good at all. Is there any support in sight? Nope. Breaking all-time lows. That is not good. So I would, to find a dead cat bounce on that, could put it on the C list. You know, listen, what's today? Today is Friday, okay? And what does Friday entail for us? Everybody wants to go away, the weekends, the Hamptons. The summer is going to be a beautiful weekend here. So, you know, these are things that you have to take in consideration. Nobody wants to stick around, you know, on Fridays. You know, COVID really changed everything. It's like now everybody wants to, you know, have time off and live their lives. And you should, you know, listen, life's very short for some of us. So, but when it comes to Fridays, be very, very careful of trading it. So that's why the list is not really that big. All right. So, which is fine. You know, we did well yesterday. You know, we got a couple of good swing trades that we did well on it. And like I said, we'll go out there and worry about the day trades later. All right. Anything I'm missing I did not call out? Can you share information about level 3 and level 4 market data? I've never seen it before. Thanks from Spain on YouTube. Taylor, the best thing to do is this. Why don't you email me? Send me an email, and I'll be happy to kind of give you more detail on it, okay? And I have a couple of videos I could actually show you can watch on it and how to get it. But you got to be careful, Taylor. I got to teach you how to use it. You got to watch it because it could do more damage than good. It's like telling somebody dealing with public transportation, say, hey, do you know you can actually drive a car? And all of a sudden, like, and they see, like, oh my God, it's the greatest thing. Where do I buy one? And then you know what happens if you give somebody the keys to a car that never drove before? You kind of give them the keys to their coffin. All right, so it's not that easy. No problem. In the meantime, just one last announcement. Josh put in his resignation. You know, he doesn't want to work for C2 anymore if he hits lotto today. Okay, so, and I said, you know what, Josh? I might be the same thing. So lotto's over $1.1 billion today. Go out there, make sure, you got to be in it to win it, just like us trading. But just giving you breaking news right now. Josh told me if he hits lotto, he's going to retire. All right, and then I think we will retire. So don't worry, Josh. You got it's like 365 million to 1 chance to win it. All right, everybody. Good luck today. We'll see you back when the market opens up. If you're watching YouTube, Facebook Live, we'll be back here at 2:30. And like I said, and don't forget to watch that class if you're a student of Phase 1. All right, everybody. Good luck, everyone. Happy trading. If I don't see you, enjoy your weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday.